This segment was filmed before I got the news about Mr. Cornelius and my dog Zeke Cook hitting the transfer portal. I'm going to miss them young kings. While we are caught up in the euphoria of the accomplishments of Jackson State women's basketball team, I do want to shout out and salute the men's team, okay, and kind of put a cap on their season, okay, because we are proud of them as well and their hard work, overcoming a lot of adversity this year, a lot of injuries and adversity, to still make the SWAC tournament, okay. So that was big shit. So I want to make sure we shout them out uh as well. You feel me? But before we get into that, make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? I am your homeboy first, and this is the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on something again. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, and put all of your people on it. The men's team finished the season with a 15-17 record, okay? And that included going 11-7 in the conference. So they had a conference winning record, okay, despite everything that we went through. Okay, and that's big. Okay. We had a notable non-conference win this year versus SEC's Missouri by a score of 73-72. We had a good showing against Georgetown. Okay, we had a victory against Arkansas State. Okay, so we did some good things. We won the CP3 HBCU challenge. Okay, by defeating Howard 81-74, and by defeating North Carolina A&T by a score of 68-60. Okay, we had a decent showing against the Big Ten's Northwestern as well, only losing to them by 11, 74-70. 74-63. Okay. So we had some good things happen in the non-conference schedule. And then, like I said, we had a winning record in conference despite all of the shit that we went through. Okay. Easily could have picked up a couple of more wins here. The FAMU game stands out to me. Well, Chase Young had 35 points and we lost by 2 points, despite not having the SWAC Defensive Player of the Year in JO, okay, for that game. And a bunch of other games kind of were like that. If you look at the schedule, especially if you just look at it on ESPN, you kind of see like it's got a kind of Christmas tree element to it, or Christmas colors element to it. You see a streak of green and you see a streak of red. You feel me? So the season was kind of all over the place with that, uh, due to all the shit we were going through as a team. Okay, but I still believe we are going in the right direction under the leadership of Coach Mo Williams. Okay, so I do want to shout out these young men, most notably all those guys. Well, I don't want to say most notably all the guys in the rotation because, again, as a former coach, I know that those guys who don't get in the game are working their asses off. They're doing the same drills, they're doing the same sprints, they're lifting the same weights. And in practice, you can't have a practice without their ass. You can't. You cannot have a practice without them. Trust me. I don't. Hell, I had to coach in a situation where I didn't have enough kids to have practice for real. Matter of fact, I coached Coach Williams' son. Okay, his son that's on his staff. I coached him my second year as a coach. Okay, and I didn't have enough goddamn players in practice. I had 5 guys just for the team. So my ass was running around when I was trying to work on sets. I was running from player to player trying to represent defense. So I know how that shit is. That sucks. Okay. So these brothers that don't get in the game for real like that, shout out to them as well. Okay. Brothers like Kewan Johnson. Okay. Uh Mr. Jamie Mitchell, he was actually hurt. See, that's another situation that hurt us. Okay. Mr. Hunt, his minutes did go up. Okay. So I'll speak on him separately. But Mr. Williams, okay, Mr. Williamson, Mr. Grigsby, Mr. Bell, Mr. McDaniel, Mr. Samuel. Like these fellas still are working their asses off. You feel me? So shout out to all those kings, okay? But for the guys in the rotation, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Z Cook, my dog, Mr. Intensity, led us in rebounding, okay, was tied for the lead in steals, okay? I believe he's a pro. Somewhere in this world, a coach needs that shit. Somewhere in this world, in basketball, those traits still matter. Okay, talking on defense, making the correct rotation, diving for loose balls, boarding up, all those kind of things matter. And this king has that. Okay, I'm so proud of him. Ken Evans Jr. joined the 1,000 point club this year. Okay, that features names like Lindsey Hunter, like Trey Johnson. Okay, this young man added his name to that club. Okay, certified bucket. So proud of him. Okay, Colter Young. This young man is coming on. We saw a change. He reduced the number of threes he's taking. Okay, I think during this summer he's gonna work on being more efficient with that because he can stroke it. He can stroke it. Okay, but I think he sees now he has to be more selective with those shots, and I think he will be more selective. And I think we noticed he started to put it on the floor a little more, try to get to the basket, use his athleticism. He got stupid bounce, and he's stocky. Okay, so this kid, I look forward. I look forward to next season from this young king. Okay, Mr. Hunt. Okay, straight out of Callaway High School. This young king stepped up big time when we had injuries like the Chase and shit like that. And minutes had to go up for other guards. Okay, this young king stepped up big and played some solid minutes. You feel me? Speaking of Chase, the floor general. Okay, I mentioned that big 35-point game that he had. It was very unfortunate that he had whatever kind of foot injury, ankle injury that he had this year. Okay, but you gotta love that kid. He got the ball on the string. Okay, floor general extraordinaire. Okay, very proud of him. Mr. Keontae Cornelius. Okay, I was very proud of this young king and how he stepped up big when he got his minutes. He ended up being inserted into the starting lineup when Chase went down. We gave us some very key shooting that we needed. Okay, some games where Mr. Evans was having an off night from the field. Okay, Keontae gave us some good perimeter shooting. You feel me? Well, like I told him when I had an opportunity to meet him for the first time, just told him, don't get frustrated. Real ones see what you're doing. Real ones see it. Everybody don't see it. Real ones see what the fuck you're doing for our ball club. So I'm very proud of that young king. Okay. Mr. Mansell, that kid want to play. You can see that kid, he was always around. I didn't always see Mr. Ruffin. Okay. After Daphne got hurt on the women's side, I didn't always see Daphne. Throughout this injury, I always saw Mr. Mansell. He'd go out there just, making little layups and shit. One game, I thought he was back, goddamn it. He was out there, goddamn, dunking that bitch. And I told my little boo thing, oh, he back, he back. I guess he was just working out, okay? I really hope we keep this young man and we get a chance to see him hoop next year. Okay, keep persevering, young king. Okay. J.O. J.O. Defensive Player of the Year in the SWAC. Okay. Well deserved. Blocked a lot of shots. Changed a lot of shots. Okay. But also is an offensive threat. Our second leading scorer behind the SWAC Player of the Year, Ken Evans. I forgot to mention that. Okay. Not only is he in the 1,000-point club, Ken Evans is the SWAC Player of the Year. You feel me? That 37 ball that he put on the motherfuckers, helped seal the deal. So shout out to that king. All right. But J.O. was our second leading scorer. I told y'all he would jump hook your motherfucking ass to death. Yes, he will. That young king, Got a nice back to the basket game, real old school with that shit. You gotta appreciate that. Okay. I hope to see him next year. You feel me? Big Trey. I want to shout out Big Trey, man, because you got in shape, young man. You got in shape. I can tell a big difference in you, young king. And shout out to the strength and conditioning coaches. Okay, you did your fucking thing. Okay. But Big Trey got something you can't teach. 6'11", 285. He listed as shit. Big Trey ain't doing 285 shit. He more than that. Got to be more than that. That's a big boy. But he got in some shape. Okay. And that's hard work. And he contributed mightily to us this year. I'm very proud of that young king. Okay. And I mentioned Mr. Ruffin. Okay. I know it was disheartening for the fan base and for this young king. Okay. These young men and women, they live for this game. They've been playing this game since they were kids, man. You feel me? Like, this is what they do when they have that shit taken away from you because of injury, especially when your city was so excited that you were coming home. I know that was fucked up. You know what I'm saying? You seeing shit. He probably was seeing guys that he know he fucked them boys up. You know what I'm saying? He know he can go get a bucket for us, but he just couldn't go do that. So shout out to that young king. I hope that the rehab is going well, and I hope that we get a chance to see him really fuck up some shit next year in the SWAC, okay? And shout out to Coach Mo and the entire staff, man. Real ones are with you. I know how it is to be a coach or be on a coaching staff, and everybody that coming at you, they just look at the box score, they just look at the win loss, and they don't really know what the fuck is going on in your gym. They don't know what's going on in your locker room. You feel me? They don't know what's going on a day-to-day basis with the mindset of your players. They don't know what's going on with all the different shit you dealing with, especially you dealing. College is so weird. You coaching grown men and women, but they are not fully grown men and women. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't out here in this bitch like I am with mortgages and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. It's a little different. But some of them got kids, and some of them got real responsibilities and shit that they're dealing with. And you, as their coach, you try to help them navigate all that kind of stuff, man. While doing what you get paid to do, which is win games. So I just want to shout out Coach Mo, man. I really think we on the way. I really do. I ain't capping. This ain't cap. I would not tell y'all that if it was not the truth. I've been watching this team. I've been covering this team since we even had Wayne Brent as the coach. Okay, I've been covering this team, and I know basketball. Coach the game of basketball. I know this shit. We going in the right direction. Okay. We really are. Make the tournament this year with all these fucking injuries was great. So next year, I'm looking for us to win this motherfucker. Book it! You heard it here first. Jack State's men will win the SWAC next year. Book it! Put it on something.
Please subscribe to my daddy's YouTube channel because the more subscribers he gets, the more attractive he looks to sponsors. The more attractive he looks to sponsors, the more money he can make. And the more money he can make, the more money he can spend on me.